Some people think dandelions are just nuisance little weeds, but I'm going to show you all the medicinal benefits that you can get from just dandelions. If y'all are seeing me for the first time, my name is Tracy. I'm the creator and I run our YouTube channel, but I also am the author of our blogs. And if you want like a readable tutorial version of a lot of our videos of what we're all about here at 4D Farms, we're all about faith, family, home, and farm. You can catch us on our blogs at 4dfarms.blogspot.com and 4dfarms.wordpress.com. Hey y'all, welcome to today's video. Y'all remember when I did a little short about when I gathered some dandelions, and I told y'all go do all your research about dandelions and all the medicinal benefits of them? Well, shoot, I'm just going to do a whole video about it, okay? I did my research, and I'm going to show y'all a book that I bought, and y'all, I am loving. And this lady has a PhD in medicinal medicine. She is certified, so I trust her. And I went and bought this book right here, The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. And I've been seeing this woman and her book all over Instagram and Facebook and everywhere. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go get it. Now they have a #2 book. Now y'all know I got to go get that. But I put this, her name is Nicole. I can't pronounce her name, y'all, but look at her name. You got a gander, okay? I'm going to put this book in my Amazon store under my books and DVDs list, okay, to where you'll be able to find it. And I'm going to go get #2 now. Okay, let's discuss dandelions. Y'all, everybody thinks they're a nuisance little weed, and they'll spray all that stuff on them to try to kill them out. They're not just for the bumblebees to get that little cute little pollen on their cute little butts and take it to the beehive or whatever. Y'all, it's medicinal purposes. And I had no idea how much medicinal benefits this one little plant has. It is right up there with goldenrod. So now you have two plants that you can gather 2 different times of the year to stock your apothecaries, your natural remedy medicine cabinet. You can get dandelions in the spring all the way up through, y'all, as long as they will bloom. Then your goldenrod blooms and grows during the fall. So you've got 2 opportunities there to catch 2 powerhouses of natural remedies. Let's discuss some of these. Dandelions. The whole plant of dandelion is edible. You can eat the flowers. You can cook them up. You can eat the leaves, the stems. The stem, on the inside of the stem, there is like a milky substance that is full of vitamins and minerals. And then the roots, dandelion roots, y'all, can be dried and ground up and then turned around and made into a tea, okay? The flowers, the leaves can be turned into a tea, okay? And then let's talk about some of these. Medicinal uses. Oh my gosh, y'all. The entire dandelion plant is used medicinally. The bitter roots are good for gastrointestinal and liver problems, while the leaves have a powerful diuretic effect. The plant makes a great general tonic and benefits the entire body. It is high in vitamins and minerals and antioxidants. You can use this in dandelion tea and tincture for internal use. Okay, listen to all this. You got a pen and a piece of paper? Digestion problems, liver and gallbladder function. Wished I would have known that before my gallbladder failed and had to have it taken out. Liver protection and healing. Diuretic and detoxifying the body. Skin wounds, corns, warts, osteoporosis, and bone health. Controls blood sugar. Urinary tract disorders. Cancer management support. Prevents iron deficiency, anemia, which I have an autoimmune disease. I have to keep an eye on my red blood cells, anemia. Treating hypertension. Boost the immune system, mastitis, and lactation. Okay? Fights inflammation and arthritis. Did y'all hear all that? Just from one little plant that everybody thinks is a nuisance little weed. Y'all, the medicinal benefits. She has some recipes in here on how to make the tea, how to know when to harvest. Yes. Y'all, I showed you a little clip in a short that where I harvested some leaves and stuff. I just plucked up the whole plant. Now, if I could have, I would have dug up the roots. Okay? But you can let this grow for a little while, or you can wild forage. If you are going to wild forage, you're going to go out here and you're going to pick some dandelions, just like goldenrod. Y'all go back, and I will tag my goldenrod video somewhere on the screen at the end of this one before it cuts off, like that last little 10 seconds, and it'll pop up on the screen. I will link my goldenrod 2 videos on that, where I go through all the health benefits of goldenrod, and you can be preparing to look for this excellent plant in the fall. But in the meantime, let's do this one in the spring, okay? You can go out there and just dig up the whole plant, roots and all, because all of it is useful for medicinal purposes. I have not had success yet. I've already practiced, and I'm going to show you what I've done here in just a few minutes, and I'm going to continue to do. I took a whole plant, minus the root. I wished I could have dug it up, but next time I find some more, I may try to dig up some roots, okay? Okay, but I haven't yet, all right? I just grabbed the whole plant, and I took the little flowers off, and I'm currently got some steeping in some apple cider vinegar, and to make a tincture out of. Y'all, I don't use alcohol to make my tinctures. Y'all know my convictions. I've said it 100 times. If you want to use an alcohol to make your tinctures, you would use like something 80 to 100 proof, like vodka, gin, rum, something like that. I just cannot do it, y'all. Your second option, if you don't want an alcoholic tincture, then you can use apple cider vinegar, okay? When you get ready to take it, just disguise the flavor in some kind of juice like apple, orange, pineapple, or grape. There you go. An acidic vinegar goes good with an acidic juice because it disguises the flavor. You won't even know it's there. I use my goldenrod tincture in some orange juice, grape juice, and y'all, I can't even taste it. There you go. Now, where was I? Getting back to the ways to use it. I took some of the flowers and I've got them steeping in some apple cider vinegar. We're going to take a little walk today and we're going to go gather some more flowers. Maybe gather some more leaves, okay? May not be able to get the roots, okay? Let's see. I've got some leaves and stems up there drying. I'm going to show you how I'm going to run them through my little food processor here to pulse them up just a little bit so I can store them in an airtight little jar, make a tea out of those. The flowers, y'all, I have not had any luck taking the flowers and drying the flowers because dandelions are persnickety, because when I took the flowers and I tried to air dry them, they didn't dry quick enough and they started turning into the little puff balls. So I have failed at that one. I believe I watched some other ladies' videos, and I think the best way to hurry up and dry those before they turn into the puff balls is dehydrator. They dry them out at a lower temperature but faster before they have a chance to turn into those puff balls. And then you can use those to turn around and make a tea. Y'all, you can pluck the flowers up and make a tea right then, right after you pick them. And we might do that. You just pluck the flowers, you put them in a teacup, and then you boil you some water, pour it over those flowers, fresh picked flowers, and let them steep for a few minutes. Strain them, use a little bit of honey, sweeten your tea up, drink it right then. Okay, that is probably one of the #1 ways, but you have to use them up quickly before they do start turning into the little puff balls. And I'll show you a little jar here in just a second of, I tried to dry them by air, but I don't think I'm going to let them go to waste, because after they turn into those little puff balls, you get those seeds. So I can actually use those for seed planting and start my own little dandelions that I'm not going to let anybody spray out as a nuisance little weed. I'll find a little area off somewhere that I can grow. Okay, so I'll show y'all some things in a second of what I've done and how I've prepared some, and then we'll go through preparing some, and then I'm going to get ready for my next batch, and we're going to go on a little walk, and then we'll make some tea. And then I will show you how I'm going to start my next batch. So now that we've gone through all the medicinal purposes and you have now interested, I've sparked your curiosity in this book. She has a PhD, y'all. So you know she's certified and got her degree. Y'all, this book is amazing. It is filled with plants, herbs, flowers, you name it. Look at that. That's all you're going to get. You're going to get a sneak peek. I'm fixing to get #2. She has 2 books. She has added to this a whole lot more information. I'm getting #2. This is in my Amazon store under my books and DVDs not playlist, but list, okay? So, let's go over here and I'll show you some things that I've done, I'm fixing to do. Then we'll go on a little walk, and then we'll collect some more, and we'll come back and make some tea. But just know, the flowers, when I tried to dry them, they're a flop. And I'll show you, but I'm going to save them as seed. So, let's go over here and I'll show you what I got done. I've got some started right here in some apple cider vinegar. Now, when we go pick some more, we're just going to toss them in here. And I'll tell you something about harvesting them in just a second, too. We're going to throw them in here as soon as we get them picked, okay? So I've got just a few in here when I went walking the other day. This is some that literally turned into the puff balls. But, y'all, you see the seeds in there? So I'm going to be saving these for seeds and starting my own. Here is some that I tried to dry, but just, y'all, they didn't keep their yellow petal form. They started turning. So I think I'm just going to save these for seed too. These are at a different stage. All right, now, these are the ones that I showed y'all in that little short that I have put up here to dry. They are completely dry. I've got leaves. Some of the flowers stayed and dried. And y'all, the stems that had that milky substance in them, full of the vitamins and minerals. So we're fixing to put these in my little food processor and grind them up and put them in an airtight jar. Okay, I've got these in my food processor, my little mini food processor, and I'm going to just grind these up just a little bit, enough where it makes like little tea flakes, little tea-sized flakes, and then I can put them in this little empty jar right here. I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to try to spare you the noise. You just pulse them until they get like, I'm going to get down here where I can get a gander at them. There we go. We're just getting them ground up a little bit. Whoa, sorry. I'm going to do this, y'all. I'm going to spare y'all the noise, okay? Okay, y'all see that? I got it all pulsed up. Let me move this. Y'all, I did find maybe like 2 or 3 little smallish roots in here. And that is awesome. I don't want to waste any of this. Let me get this all off of here, and then I'll show you how well we got it done up. Now, if you have the stems, make sure to be careful to kind of like break your stems down into sections, because they can get hung around the stem of your food processor and it might bog it down just a little bit. So before you put them in here, just kind of like cut stems down into little smaller pieces so they don't get wrapped around your blade, okay? Oops, I spilled some more. Come here, beautiful medicine. Okay, now I'll show you what this looks like after I got it ground up. See? Tea flake form. Look at that. There you go. Stems, leaves, a few little flowers in there, and I found a couple of little smallish roots. So I'm going to shove them down. Oh, they may not fit in this jar. I may have to have 2 jars. Or I may have a jar that I saved one night. Let me see what I got. I got it, y'all. I saved a jar one night of picante sauce after we got done with it. Washed it out. Y'all, it comes in handy just for things like this. We are going to put all of these. I might need a funnel. Where is my funnel? Y'all, we are on a work trip, and I am utilizing everything I can, okay? And we're going to go out here in just a minute, and we are going to go picking some dandelions, and I'll show you where, okay? Let me get this shoved into here, okay? Okay, I got them all in here for right now. This is going to be temporary until probably a wide mouth jar would be better, but I don't have an extra one on hand, y'all. I will probably go buy one, a couple, just to use for these purposes. But like I said, we're on a work trip, and I am finding what I can, where I can, when I can. So I'm going to set these over here just for the time being, and I need to label this. And then I'll probably just go buy me some bigger jars, but wide mouth or this regular mouth would probably be better than this little bitty one. So yeah, we'll just put them in here temporarily. Let's go pick some dandelions. Now, let me tell y'all, y'all see my herbs over there? Let me tell y'all about a few little tips when you're getting ready to harvest or go picking, okay? Number 1, just like the goldenrod, you do not want to harvest them or pick them near a roadway where carbon monoxide's been coming out of people's tailpipes, okay? Of course, you don't want to make sure a dog has peed on them. Let's see. Oh, it has rained. And also you want to make sure nobody has sprayed any chemicals on them. It has rained, so it's perfect timing. They mowed before I got to go out there and pick some. I picked a little, then they came. I was getting ready to go get my second batch, and they came and mowed. Dagnabbit. So I had to wait for them to come back and regrow. So now I'm catching them, but then it rained a little bit after that, so it kind of washed off everything that might have been on it, okay? So I'm like, oh, let's go pick some now. So be careful when you're picking, okay? What else? We made sure no dog has peed on them. Made sure they're not sprayed with anything. Oh, and they close up at nighttime. So, of course, you're not going to wait till the close to, the hours like that to go and pick some. You want to pick them when they're fully bloomed. The blossoms are fully bloomed and open. Don't get them when they're closed. If you are, and another reason why I want to hurry up and get them right now, because we had a rain yesterday, so it washed anything off that might be on them. Because if I'm going to make a tincture with fresh flowers, I don't want them wet to be put in my tincture. I don't want to add water to it, okay, and wind up ruining them. So you want clean, fresh, open flowers, okay? So, let's go pick some. Yeah, like I said, we're on a work trip and we're staying at a place. We're actually staying at a place that is a youth camp, y'all. It's amazing. It's a youth camp, and they, are all about teaching the kids and everything, all about Jesus and the gospel and stuff. And y'all, everyone here is just super nice. We've got guys that are working the day shift, the night shift. So, I know there's some guys up above us that's working the night shift, so they're having to sleep during the day. And, I just try to be quiet and stuff. But, y'all, look at this big open field. Look at this big open field that I get to choose all these little dandelions that's away from the road. They haven't been sprayed and they haven't been mowed yet. So I'm fixing to just start picking some leaves, picking some fresh blooms, okay? Look at this big whole plant right here. Yes, I'm going to get a lot of these leaves. I'm going to keep the flowers, the leaves separated from the flowers right now, because the leaves are going to get dried, just like I done the other ones. The fresh flowers are going to go in my tincture. And these are fresh, they're clean. They got a little washing yesterday, and they're dry and fresh. And I haven't seen any dogs over here, so. All right, I'm going to collect some more. Look at these leaves, y'all. Let's just collect a little bit more. And these people are probably out here wondering what I'm doing. And if they get curious, I'll tell them what I'm doing. I'll share all my knowledge and information with them. Let's see. I want some big leaves. Let's look right here. Here's some more big leaves. I'm going to put my little basket. I'm going to put the leaves. Well, now those are all mixed in. I was going to put my leaves on one side and my flowers on the other, but I'll have to separate them again, y'all. Where'd that little flower go I picked? There it went. Oh, don't waste those. We'll just get them right back. There we go. Okay, let's see. Let's get my leaves back. Get that one. All right, let's turn you where you don't fall over. All right, here's some good leaves. Look at that. And if they're wondering what I'm doing, I'll tell them, y'all. And I'll share my knowledge and my information. All right, let's see. There's some right here. Oh, y'all, that's a pretty big flower right there. Y'all see that? Y'all, this is springtime. Still just a little chilly, but enough to get outside, And this video might be coming out a little later than right before spring. But it's okay. You'll have this video for next year, okay? So you'll know what to do. Look at some of these fresh leaves right here. I'm going to grab some of these leaves. Now the leaves will get washed. All right, let's go to another little spot. Y'all, I'm in dandelion heaven out here. The pastor comes out every day and he goes around gathering all the trash and everything for everybody. And he saw me picking dandelions and I'm like, nature's pharmacy. He said, you betcha. So see, he knows. All right, let's see. I want to see if I can find some more leaves. All right, y'all. It's windy. I think I got enough for today. Just for today. I've got me a little basket here. I picked mostly fresh flowers right now because I want to make more of the tincture. I did get some leaves. I will wash the leaves off real good because they're closer to the ground, and if anything splashed on them, I can rinse them off. The flowers, the blooms, I picked more closely the tall ones where anything didn't splash on them or anything like that. They're further up. So, and then plus those are going to be going in my tincture. So let's get back and let's go make some tea. Let me prepare these and then we'll just go from there, okay? All right, I've got these inside. I'm going to start separating the flowers from the leaves, and I've got me a few little flowers out here already. I've got me some tea boiling in the microwave, and we're just going to show you how to make a quick little tea and flavor it and do a little taste test, strain it, and then do a little taste test. In the meantime, I'm going to be separating the flowers from the leaves. I'm going to wash the leaves, okay, and then lay them up there on top to dry. Okay, I'm separating them right now. I'm going to lay the leaves up there to dry, and then I'm going to take the flowers and I'm going to show you how to make a little tea right quick. The rest of the flowers I'm going to put into this jar. I've already got some going in apple cider vinegar, and I'm probably going to have to fill it up with some more vinegar, of course. And you want to make sure everything is submerged, okay? So let me do this and then we'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to take this water. I'm going to pour it over these dandelions. I'm going to put the lid on. Oh, that's hot. And I'm going to let this steep for a few minutes, okay? You'll start seeing the water change color and releasing all those properties, okay? I'm going to let this steep for about 10 to 15 minutes in this jar. And right now I'm separating the leaves from the flowers. Y'all, I would say I got a good start going here. I got all those flowers into here, pushed them down a little bit. Now I'm going to add some more vinegar. I'm not going to fill it all the way up yet because every day I'm just going to keep picking until I do get this full, and then I can get it all the way up to the neck. But I do want to make sure everything is down and I get most of the air bubbles out. I got a good start, y'all. There's going to be one very good jar right there to make a tincture with. Nature's medicine in a jar. Now, what you do is, for your tinctures, once you get it full up to here with the vinegar and all the flowers are pressed down and everything, you get your jar full of your herb, your flour, whatever you're doing, and your vinegar or your liquor. You're just going to shake it every day or occasionally, once a week. You know, try not to forget to shake to get this on top. incorporated in with the rest. You're going to label what's on there and maybe possibly the date, or write it down on a calendar somewhere. You're going to set this in a cool, dark place anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. Okay? So there's going to be dandelion medicine in a jar for my tincture. Now, for the leaves, I'm going to go rinse and wash them, or rinse them off, lay them back up on top of there to dry. Once they get completely dry, I will put them back in my little food processor, do the exact same thing that I just did for these right here. Okay? And then I will probably switch jars of this, because I would like a quart jar of the dried leaves to do that with. So I will have some for making tea purposes, and then I will have some for tincture purposes. Okay? But y'all remember that I have to say this, because I am not an herbalist. I don't have a degree in diddly squat. I don't have a certification. This is just things that I'm researching, I am studying, and I am using. And yes, I do talk to my doctor about everything I implement into my program. Actually, I have a doctor now that loves holistic remedies. She's doing both, and I have recommended her to so many people, and I am so thankful the Lord sent her my way. It was just like a blessing in disguise. My doctor that I had for years, his brother passed away, and he knew before his brother passed away that he wanted him to run his clinic, and that required him moving to a different state. And I'm like, no, you get me, you understand me, I've used you for years. But I prayed about it and prayed about it and prayed about it when it was time for me to find a new doctor, and lo and behold, he answered my prayers, and he sent me my doctor now. She knows I'm taking turmeric. She knows I love holistic natural remedies. She has been studying holistic remedy for years. She has helped me come up with a protocol for my menopause and my arthritis, and some combinations to actually combat both at the same time with one or two things. Multi-purpose? Yes. Okay, so I have to say that disclaimer. Please talk to your doctor, okay? Run everything through your doctor. Let them know ahead of time what you are doing. Ask questions. Okay, now that I got that out of the way. Remember to pick your dandelion the moment that they start blooming in the spring. The fresher, earlier, the better, okay? Just keep picking them until they're all gone. But like I said, right now we're on a work trip, and I'm like, I gotta find some dandelions because it's springtime. And then the Lord blessed me with a place to pick me some dandelions. Y'all, the Lord always just knows what you need, when you need it, how you need it, where you need it. Okay, he has always come through for me. When I picked the goldenrod, we weren't home in the fall right then either, and I'm like, I need some goldenrod, and I spotted some big old fields. I got permission to harvest some out there. The Lord provided me. He met me in my needs where I was at that moment, and he did it again in the spring, and he's providing me with what I need so I can stock my apothecary. So yes, in the spring, catch them when they're soon as they're blooming, and just keep harvesting them until they're all gone. The leaves, the flowers, the roots. I don't want to go out here digging up the roots and leave holes in their yard, because here in a few months they're going to be hosting children's camp and a youth camp about a month after that. So I don't want little bitty kids' feet stepping in some holes where I've dug in the dirt digging up the roots. I that will come later on when I can have a place on I'm trying to find a way to incorporate me a medicinal bed where I can grow my own and I can dig up the roots if I want to. Okay, so that is how I make my dandelion tincture. I'm making me some dandelion tea, drying it for purposes, and we are fixing to try this little tea right here. Let me find my honey and a cup. Y'all, I'm going to make me up a little contraption. I'm just going to use my little strainer here and my little cup. This has already gotten so hot, it has sealed it, y'all. I'm going to have to pop the lid. Oh, did you hear that? It has already changed colors. It's still hot. I'm going to strain it. Oh, y'all, that smell. That smell. All right, now what you want to do is take you a spoon, clean spoon, press it out, y'all. Get out some more. Squeeze out all those medicinal properties. Okay, I'm going to use this as my stirrer for my honey. We're going to put some honey in my little, we're just going to drink out of this right here. Strain it in there. I'm going to pour it back in here. We're going to flavor with some honey. Okay, hold it. That's enough. All right. I'll clean this up. We're going to pour this back in here. Let's stir this up. Look at that color, y'all, that golden color. It smells awesome. Okay, that's a little huge. Let me turn this around. There we go. Y'all, sometimes you just gotta improvise, okay? Oh, I'm sticky now. Let me sit down here. Y'all, sometimes you just gotta improvise. My husband is a Marine Corps veteran, and their motto was, y'all see the kids' bunk beds up here? They have like beds for the chaperones, and then they have the bunk beds for the kids. So, where was I? My husband's a Marine Corps veteran. Y'all, their motto, adapt, improvise, and overcome. Okay? Now let's do a little taste test. It's going to be warm. Look at that golden color. Oh, y'all, I know this is going to be warm. It's going to be hot. So hold on just a second. And y'all, if you don't like hot teas and warm teas and hot teas goes good with winter time. If you don't like hot tea and warm tea, have you some ice cold tea. I do that with my goldenrod, y'all. My stinging nettle, my tea blend that I make up for my hormones, y'all. Stinging nettle is perfect for menopause. I will get me a regular tea bag, preferably green tea bag. And I'm letting this cool off, y'all. And then some stinging nettle, dandelion, or I will switch out with goldenrod, depending on the time of the year, what I've got. What else? Okay, and then I will steep that in a tea bag and let it sit for a few minutes, and then take my tea bag out with all of my stuff in it. And then I will pour it over some ice and have some ice cold tea. Or if I'm cold in the wintertime, I'll have my warm tea. That is still hot. Okay. I'm just going to do a little taste test, y'all. It smells floral up in here. It smells spring up in here. Ooh, hold on. Oh, that's pretty good. Dandelion tea. Y'all, some people make dandelion wine. I'm not going to go there. You can make dandelion jelly. Yes, you can, with the blossoms. I'm going to research that. There is your dandelion tea. Look at that. Medicine in a little jar. Y'all, go do your research. If you want to know something about, what is that right there? Is that a weed, or is that a plant, or is that medicine? Y'all, look it up. Google it. Y'all, they didn't have Google in my younger days. We had to figure things out for ourselves. So you little young whippersnappers, don't make fun of us, okay? We're smarter than that, because we actually had to research things for ourselves instead of Googling everything or YouTubing everything, okay? So, do your research. Get some of these books. Study. Get you some seeds. Half of the time, y'all, your plants put off their own seeds. Harvest them. Dry them. Save your seeds. I'm going to find a place to put these little puff balls, y'all, as your seeds. I'm going to find a place to plant my own and just dare anybody to spray them down or call them a weed or mow them down. But there is tincture, dried tea for longer storage, fresh tea. There's your medicine, y'all. Just a little spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. I will catch y'all in the next video.